Welcome to Cromwell Lake, home for the next 24 hours, where we're going to be testing some pretty epic items of tackle. Now, we've raided the Carp Lounge showroom. We've got our hands on an RT4 and RT7 bait boat, and we're going to pit them against each other head to head. Now, in terms of information, we're going to tell you how to set them up, we're going to give you some tips on bait boat fishing, and we're going to show you the whole technical spec. So make sure you stay tuned. If we're lucky, we might even show you a carp or two. Now, I'm certainly no bait boat expert. I think, to be fair, I could count on one hand the number of times I've used one. So I've recruited a real boat expert. This man is rumoured to only fish venues where you allow bait boats. The last time he cast, I think he was a 6-year-old fishing for roach on canal. He's also paid an Uber driver life-changing money just to drive out a forgotten bait boat aerial recently. He's the one, the only, Mr. Bait Boat, Jamie Jackson, AKA Tech. He's already in the swim. Let's go meet up with him. Oh, that's the sign of a good angler. He puts his bivvy up first. Here he is. Smash for rod tips. Yeah. Nice to see you. Yeah. Bivvy up first, no rods out, top angling. It looks good for it, doesn't it, mate, in there?
I mean, I've had a mare already.
You don't need a third though, do you?
No, that's snapped my thing.
Have you actually snapped it?
I've got it to singles.
Would it be wrong of me just to chuck 3 zigs just out there? Oh yeah. This is very, it's very angler friendly, isn't it, Cromwell? I thought that was going to be the old, I'm going to have to do the old turn to get it in, mate. I was straight through it. Straight through it. No, no. Oh yeah. She'll get there. Sometimes you just have to talk your way into it. No. I've gone for the rake technique, Jack. Rake, find my spot. Give it the spin. It's time for a peg.
A few moments later.
Oh, he's still not going in, is he? Oh yeah. What you say? Oh, she's in. Just struck oil there. Look, then you just kick it over the top, just make it look nice and tidy. Can't teach that set of skills. Most people buy a pod or like, I don't know, some sort of more solid system. Oh no, 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 no. Trusty bent peg, sheer force, get it in there, and then kick some rocks over it. She's good. That's almost level as well. I know I'm with Jack, so I've got to be well conscious of keeping things clean and level because he's got some sort of crazy OCD. I'm actually going to put these just a little bit higher up just for Jack so that when he's filming they look carpy and he's not absolutely doing his nut.
I'm going to take you through how I set up the Carp Lounge RT7 bait boat. Go through everything from getting it out of the bag, putting the batteries in, all the way to utilising the sonar, getting the rods out in position. So I've got mine's in Fox Camelite bag, which is, it's an optional extra, but it's a great bag, all the side pockets, I get plenty of gear in here. On this particular boat we're using the smart batteries. These are really easy to insert, the better of the options of the two. You can either get the smart batteries or there's the standard batteries. The boat itself, it's the Camelite RT7, like I say, with the smart batteries, and these are simple, just pick them up, clip them in, easy as that. And then I've got the shark aerial on the back, the shark fin. and then attach the front aerial like so. If you're going fishing under snags, you can drop it down or have it up. One of the big benefits of the RT7 is certainly the all-in-one controller. In comparison to the RT4, where you've got the separate receiver box, the handheld controller and the tablet, this makes everything so much easier. You've got everything all in one. You've got the tablet on for the sonar, the GPS, you've got all your controls. Very, very easy to use, nice and compact. You can have that in your hand while you're holding your rod without all the extra bits that you need. The aerial is on the back. One thing I see so many people having trouble saying my boat's not connecting. Most of the time on the pictures see that pointing down, so always make sure that's out, pointed up, so that's your aerial for your controller. In comparison to the RT4, it's just so much easier to use. You haven't got all the extra things knocking about. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go get the rods ready, get all the rigs on, get everything set up and take you through how to use the all-in-one controller and the RT7 to get your rods out on the spot and find that perfect spot to fish. So I've got the rig ready. I'll take you through the steps now to loading the boat up and then follow through to get your rigs out on the spot. So on this particular boat, you've got two hoppers, you've got a left and a right. Put your rig in either, you can control them both quite easily on the remote, whichever one you want to open. So to insert your rig, very simple, feed it underneath, just trapping your line in the back, make sure that hopper's tight up and just lay your rig. Remember the doors open sort of that way, so always have your sort of lead pointing down so it's not trying to flip over as it goes in. Fold up the other hopper. If you're not, you can put bait in either side, depending on what you're fishing. If you're fishing on a tight spot, you might just use one hopper, or if you want to spread a bait, you can use the two. So you've got two buttons on the boat. All you need to do to turn it on is just press the front one, that'll activate the back one. The back one is for the sonar. Once that's on, give it a couple of seconds or so to start up before you switch your remote on using the power button at the bottom. You do have two power buttons on here. You've got this one, but that's just for the tablet. Always better to just use the main power button. Let that start up. Again, just give it a second or so just for it to all sync up and connect. So once the tablet's on and the boat's switched on, open the Carp Lounge app. That'll open up the software itself and it should then connect straight away. If you check that you've got the lights on at the top of the controller, and that means the receiver's on as well. You'll get connecting and then it'll come up connected. Once that's connected, tap on the connect to echo sonar and that'll connect to your sonar. You should start seeing the sonar moving on the screen once they're both synced up and connected. Surely no one's that thick they need to know how to put it in water. I'm just going to take the rod out now. Looking at the handset, as I say, it's really easy to use. You can have your rod in your hand, hold this controller quite easily and then just follow it on the sonar, see what you're looking for. So I'm looking for sort of clear spots, nice hard spots, anything where there's not less debris on the bottom, somewhere where I think fish would be likely to feed.
Now then, talk to me, as you're going to go and drop that rig, how you get from it in a bag on the bank to going and hopefully catching your fish. What do you have to do, mate?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward really. You just got the smart batteries in this one, so simple, click in, drop them straight in, just click into place. Two batteries in so you can switch between them. Once battery starts going, you can just switch it on the remote, load her up, get her out.
Load her up, get her out. You put them underneath and then close the hoppers. And it's
feed underneath, put the hoppers up, you've got two hoppers, put your bait in one side and your rig and bait in the other, or if you're just fishing, if you want to fish tight, just put your bait and rig in one hopper. However you want to fish it really. And then turning it on, that one button at the back, is it? One button at the front, the back one's the sonar button. You click the button at the front and it'll turn them both on at the same time on the RT7.
And then on this RT7 you've got a fancy sort of controller, mate. It looks like Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Look at that.
Taking us back in time here.
That's
but no,
proper.
It's ideal because everything's in one. You've got your controls there, you've got your sonar, you can see it all while you're using it, whereas with the RT4 you've got separate items, separate tablet, separate controller. So this for me just makes it so much easier. Everything's together. You can see all that's happening on the sonar while you're physically driving it out.
So you got a sonar on the screen, you've then got your sort of drive vision thing there, mate, have you, on the right
So you've got the map, you can switch between the map view and the sonar view. You've got various different sonar visions. You've got standard sonar, 50-50, where you split the screen to a hypervision where you get a real down.
Hypervision?
That's the one. Down scan. If you get over a fish properly, you can even probably tell what type of fish it is. It's that good.
That is madness, mate. So what you're basically saying is that's all in one, loaded with features, really easy to use, and you've given me, who knows nothing about them, an absolute shocker. A bit more work with the old RT4.
Yeah, a little bit.
Brilliant. You've not got a preset coordinate or anything, have you?
I have.
You have?
I have.
Wow.
So I had a little drive out earlier, found a few fish over there, so pin that spot, and all I'm going to do now is click that and say drive to that spot, and that's it, off it goes.
So it does it itself?
It will do it itself, yeah. Don't even have to do anything.
This is different level. I don't think I'm ever going to cast again. Get her out there.
There we go. Drive to my...
Drive? You've got to open the bail arm though, I think.
Yeah, you do that.
Mate, that is unbelievable. And you've seen some fish out there?
Yeah, I found a few earlier. In deep water, which is not what I expected.
Not in these conditions. I've got the old zigs flicked out, so I'm looking forward to a tutorial later on how to deploy them.
We'll get it. We'll get
It's
them.
quick as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are they both the same speed, the RT4
Yeah,
and the RT7?
you can adjust the speed on it. So what I tend to do is I'll have it fast going to the spot. If I'm fishing in shallower water, as I get closer to the spot,
yeah,
it'll automatically slow the speed down so it doesn't go tearing over a spot. And last thing you want is to be tearing across top of a fish.
That's one of the key benefits,
really.
isn't it, mate, though? They are, even at speed, they're quiet, mate, aren't they?
Yeah. This one's got the brushless motors on it, so it is quite a bit quieter.
That is a mega bit of kit. I like this, mate.
There you go. There's the fish.
Bit of me.
Boom.
And you felt it down.
You see the rig dropping there on the sonar.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
See the line going through the water.
And the fish showed themselves as fish marks are those little sort of boomerangs, aren't they?
Yeah, so you get like an arc. Tend to be the bigger the arc, the bigger the fish. And then on the hypervision, if you get them, if you sort of pass over in the right direction, you'll pick up. And we've had it before where you've seen the fins and the tail and everything on the fish. It's the quality of the hypervision's insane, really.
That's an unbelievable bit of kit, mate. So you're destined for a bite then, mate. You literally drop one on their heads. You're absolutely sorted.
Well, we'll see.
It will happen, mate. You can't get much more accurate than that. I'm going to wind them in. When you're sorted, I'm going to go and play around with the old RT4, mate, and get those.
Can't make it too easy for you, can we?
This could be an absolute mare.
There we go. I'm happy with that. Got the rod nicely placed, just off all the snags, pin tight, heavy bobbing. That looked a nice spot. Seen fish activity down there earlier, some fizzing, so fingers crossed, with the power of the RT7, we've got the rods in place.
Well, this is the last rod going out on the old RT4. I've had a great little bit of tuition, but as you can see straight away compared to the RT7, there's a bit more gubbins going on. I've got the remote in my hand, I've got a tablet here showing me the depth and general echo contours. You can actually control the boat off a tablet, but I'm using the remote. And what I'm going to do is I've got one in a deep spot, one to my left where the wind's kicking in, and I'm going to put one here. There's a little pronounced sort of bar, and the great thing about this is on the echo you can see clearly where that bar is, and you want to just drop it on that shallow feature, and that way I'm covering all the depths, all the ranges, and hopefully one of them busts off and we got a carp. I could get used to this. Here he is. Mate, well done. It's a hairy little swim, isn't it? He's giving a good old account of himself. There he is. What do you have him on? A little pink pop-up?
Yeah, a little pink squid.
Check.
A hippopotachunk.
Oh, coming soon. Oh, he's a nice fish, mate.
Hippopotachunk prototype pop-up.
Prototype. Is that like a prototype? Yeah. Mate, well done. That snag did look good for it, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's a lovely carp. Go on then. What a man.
It's my first Cromwell carp.
What a man. If I didn't love you already, I definitely do now. He'll do.
He's lovely, isn't he?
Go on, checkers. Oh, he's a proper
nice,
chunk. Well done, mate. Get it back out. Get it back out. Girth of it. Look at the girthy slow-mo that's going on. This is where you make your money, Jack. Look at that linear side. That's the side you want, isn't it? No linear, no party. You don't want to... Slow-mo pour, get on it. That's a lovely fish. Oh, he's even poured it in slow motion. Here he is, mate. Very well done. I was going to hold his fin up, but he's performing very well, isn't he? That is a mega clean result, mate. Isn't he? What a fish that is, boy.
Incredible, isn't it?
An RT7 victim, mate. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, look at it.
Yeah, it's a
How
minty.
can you not be?
It is a minty. Your first Cromwell fish as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Second time I've been here. Blank first time.
Fingers crossed, mate. That ain't the end of them. But the old trap set near the structure has peeled off, mate. He's a lovely one. And in a bit, we're going to talk to these people about the old features and technicalities of that bit of kit you're using, because it's worked well, mate, hasn't it?
It has, definitely.
Top angling, that man. That's why he's here. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Tech with the techers, mate. Well done on that carp. It's a top bit of work. We're going to talk boats, mate. As I said before, I'm a relative novice. Definitely am a novice in terms of using them. We've got an RT4, we've got an RT7. You've caught using the RT7, but in terms of the two boats themselves, you were telling me before, there's a lot of features that are actually the same in both of them.
Yeah. There's not, between the boats themselves, the body of them and everything else, and the look, they're pretty similar, really. Difference with the RT7 is the lights. You've got various colour lights down the side. I think when you order them, you can actually customise them to the colour that you want as well.
Okay.
Other than that, really, the body of the boats are pretty similar.
They're quite lightweight, aren't they? Is that
yeah,
what do you reckon helps them with the sort of speed factor?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, in comparison to some boats I've had, they do seem pretty light. Yeah.
The actual features, you talked about features in kind. We'll talk about differences maybe a bit later. But the actual main features that you get with an RT4 and an RT7 are.
I think obviously the main thing that you'd want to go for is the sonar and the GPS mapping, that sort of thing. But the RT4 and the RT7, the technology, the element that's in them, and the app that you use is basically the same thing.
Right.
There's not much in that at all. Obviously, the benefits of the kit itself and the difference and how they've compacted everything into such a smaller boat and handset, obviously things like that. Whereas with the RT4, you're just sort of carrying a lot more kit. But from a technology point of view, you're using the same app, the same element, the same sonar.
Okay, so technology is similar, same. You've got a little difference, which we'll talk about with regards to this sort of central controller with the RT7. You've got the same body frame, the same motor, the same power output, if you like. And you've got that mapping / echo sound sort of contour map, which is brilliant. I've seen it in utilisation here. It's absolutely open your eyes. What you feel with a LED is one thing, but what you can see just as you've gone round there in terms of the different topography, the different substrate, how sort of weedy or dirty the bottom is, it is unbelievable. It's like fishing in 4K, isn't it, really? It's ridiculous.
It's really, yeah.
And I reckon if you use one, I don't know how you go back to casting, because it is...
What's casting?
Yeah, exactly. What did you say casting was before? Casting's for...
People that don't win boats on competitions.
As if we give them away as well. But the difference, so that's all the similarities. The difference, the main difference is where I was using with this RT4 a tablet, a little Wi-Fi router box thing, and a remote control. You've got everything in one console.
Basically everything in the controller. So rather than having the separate controller, the tablet, the stand, everything's compacted into that one controller. So it's all there in your hands. While you can quite easily place your rod out with a controller in your hand without any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a smart bit of kit, mate. And also, I've got to charge all those different components with the RT4. You've only just got to charge that controller.
Yeah, plug a charge into that. It'll charge the controller, and then it'll charge the tablet as well at the same time. So with that one, you're changing your batteries in your remote. You're charging your tablet. You're charging your receiver itself. So plus your boat batteries, you're charging 3 or 4 things. Whereas this, you charge smart batteries and your tablet. That's it. The controller.
So it's a lot more concise, a lot neater, and the display is mega on there. I think it's one of the sort of brightest screen displays in terms of console mapping that I've seen. It's
another
really
good thing with that as well, with the screen being in the controller. If you've got the bad light, you can just tilt it a little bit so you can get it to see. Whereas the other one, because you've got the tablet on the stand, you've got to move the stand around, and then you're trying to hold the controller and the stand. So it's with everything being there, you can just adjust your position with a light and just get a perfect view on the screen.
Earlier on, mate, you talked about Hypersense or Hypervision. Yeah. Talk to me about that. Is it on both boats?
Yeah, you can get it on both. With the sonar, you've got standard sonar view, which sort of gives you a wide-angled lens, sort of an arc like that. So you're sort of scanning wide of the boat. What you tend to find on that is you get like an arc in the sonar, and it'll show you on the bottom sort of the contours, and you can see how hard the bottom is and how clean it is. But when you put it into the Hypervision, it'll basically do a down scan in really high quality. Wow. I've had it before where we was fishing last week using the boat, and the Hypervision was the image of it was so good, you could make the carp out feeding on the bottom. You could see its fins and its pecks, everything. If you get over the top of them, it's unreal. It really is. But that will give you, it'll glow, white glow if it's a hard bottom. Yeah. You can see all the weed on it. You pick up the fish, and you can basically make out if it's a fish or something that the sonar's picking up. So I tend to use it in 50-50 view. So I'll split the screen. I'll have the sonar on one side, the Hypervision on the other. Watch the sonar, and then obviously if you see something, you can sort of focus in on it on the Hypervision, and the quality is just insane. It's a mega, absolutely mental piece of kit. Are you converted?
I don't know about converted, but I am going to say they're an incredible piece of kit. There's no doubt in the technology. There's no doubt in their edge as well, especially in the situations we've used them. There's open water out there, a lot of open water. It would take me an infinite amount of time casting to even figure out what's out there.
Even you see where we're fishing there, it's an area where you wouldn't be able to cast to because you're under a tree, but also you see that foot difference was the difference between clean and mess, basically. So it just shows that you can be a foot out and you won't catch.
Yeah, mate, they're an impressive piece of kit. Essentially, RT4, RT7, the same technology, a little difference in terms of the LED lights and the lighting along the side that you can customise on the RT7, and the main difference between the two is that the RT7 has everything in one controller. They are mega. I am converted, at least for this session, mate. Thank you for the tutorial. And they are also available to win on the Capital Carp Competitions website. So if you don't want to buy one, well, get entering and win one. But cheers for that, mate. I am going to get a brew, and then it's got to be dinner time soon. Surely.
Must be.
It's got to be dinner time for the carp anyway. I ain't caught one yet. Well, classically, a very quiet night. I didn't think it was going to happen. We've probably got about an hour left before we need to go. And the rod that I placed in shallower water on the top of this bar, which was a little bit weedy to be fair, has just ripped off. I've looked into it. It did feel like a little, and if there's any consolation, it was quite scatty in the fight, and it's just hook pulled. Absolutely gutting, but it is a bite. I've got an hour and a bit left. Tech's helping me tow out to hopefully near enough the same area, because I didn't GPS it, so I can't get straight back on there, but hopefully we can have another chance. And I can repeat the feat of Tech over there, my inspiration. He lost one and caught one yesterday. I've done the losing bit. Let's hope the next one stays on. Gutted, but optimistic. Yeah, it was 8 foot of water, I remember that. So we're 13. So there's the bar. Yeah, near those two tree stumps. If you go in that line a bit further. Well, that's all she wrote. Unfortunately for me, just the one lost fish, but Tech has saved the day with his fish yesterday. Hopefully it's given you a good insight into the RT4 and RT7 bait boats. Don't forget, you could be in the chance with winning one on Capital Carp competitions. And if you're gonna buy one, make sure you listen to his little guide of how to use them. They're definitely an edge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Oh, you've got to love that, haven't you?
What's happened here then, mate?
Well, what do they say? As I'm packing up, always leave the rods in. You've got a chance, and we've hooked one.
How long after that for?
Not long. That's a stocky as well. It's doing the same thing. That is a softmouth stocky, 100%. I'm sure. Especially as it is a proper softmouth stocky. Look at it go. And I've hook pulled it again. I don't know what to say, boys. 2 bites, 2 lost. They were definitely stockies. That's my only saving grace. What has happened there? Back to the drawing board. Hook point's completely gone as well. Oh no. Don't speak to me. I'm going to crash into the central reservation. I'm going to end it all. Jack, I've lost 2. I've lost not 1. 1 is unlucky. 2, either somebody upstairs has got it in for me. I've done something dark. I've done a lot of dark things in my time, maybe. And maybe they're all catching up with me now, but that is not what you want on a session in very early spring with a load of big fish about. They definitely were stockies, but you don't want to lose them. You certainly don't want to lose your only 2 bites of the session, do you? That is a burner. We go again. Another day. If we need to reshoot the whole shoot and not hook pull them, then yeah, we'll come back out. Rasta class. Rasta! Yeah, man!